Okay, let's talk about a car you probably see, well, everywhere. The Honda CR-V Hybrid.
Oh yeah, they are super popular. You might even be thinking about getting one yourself.
Absolutely. So, welcome to the deep dive.
Today we're really digging into a bunch of sources you sent over. We've got reviews, a really detailed look from a mechanic, which is cool, and even some notes from someone who lived with it.
And the goal here isn't just to, list specs. We want to pull out the really important stuff, the good, the bad.
Especially the bad, maybe. Or at least the stuff that might make you think twice.
Exactly. Kind of a shortcut to knowing what's what, particularly where it might fall short, because you need the full picture, right?
For sure. And context is key here. I mean, the CR-V Hybrid is a big deal, but it's up against some serious competition.
Like the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, Hyundai Tucson Hybrid, Kia Sportage Hybrid. It's a tough crowd.
And straight away, pretty much all the sources point to this kind of tension. Everyone agrees it's, a really well-made, generally well-liked SUV, sells like hotcakes year after year.
But there's always a but, isn't there?
Yeah, the but is the price. Almost everyone flags the cost. It's often called out as one of the most expensive in its class, especially the higher trims.
And that's not just a small difference sometimes. It really seems to affect how people judge its overall value for money.
Right. Does it, earn that premium price? That's the big question that keeps coming up. We'll circle back to the whole value thing, especially the money side, a bit later.
Okay, so before we dive headfirst into the critiques, let's cover the good stuff. Where does the CR-V Hybrid really impress people?
Well, number one is quality, build quality. Both outside and inside, people rave about it.
Like how so?
We're talking really precise panel gaps, thick paint. That mechanic we mentioned, he actually said it was almost Lexus level in some areas.
Wow, okay. High praise.
Yeah. And it's built in this well-regarded plant in Canada, apparently. It just feels solid.
And inside, too.
Definitely. Great fit and finish. No squeaks or rattles mentioned, which is good. Nice soft materials in the right places. And people really like the feel of the controls, like the climate knobs. They feel satisfyingly premium, not cheap or flimsy.
So it feels substantial, upscale even.
Yeah, more so than some of its rivals, according to the reviews. Another huge plus seems to be the ride comfort and just how quiet it is.
Comfort. That's always big for this kind of car.
Totally. The ride is described as supple, smooth, refined. It handles bumps well, but doesn't feel floaty. A good balance.
And quiet, you said.
Extraordinarily quiet was one quote. Wind noise, road noise, really minimal. And several sources specifically said it's quieter than the RAV4 Hybrid, especially when you put your foot down.
Interesting. Any idea why?
Well, the top trim apparently has these special wheel insulators that help cut down tire noise. Little details like that add up.
Okay, quality, comfort, quietness. What else?
Space. It's huge inside for its class.
Yeah.
Loads of legroom and headroom, front and back. Comfortable seats, too.
And practicality.
Oh, yeah. There's this kind of surprising detail. The back seats can recline through 9 different settings.
9? Really?
Yeah. And the doors open really wide, which is apparently great for passengers and, wrestling car seats in and out.
Always a challenge. And storage.
Tons of it. Cubbies, cup holders, pockets everywhere. The boot's a good size, too. Pretty practical shape, flat floor when you fold the seats. Ticks those boxes.
Okay, what about the actual driving experience beyond comfort?
Generally positive on the handling side. Feels balanced. The steering gets good marks, maybe better than some competitors. Feels planted, confident.
And the hybrid powertrain, brakes.
The brakes were noted as feeling really smooth and natural. Sometimes hybrids can feel a bit weird with regenerative braking, but not this one, apparently.
Good.
On ground town, it feels pretty zippy. That instant electric motor torque makes it feel quick off the line. One review even said it felt faster than the RAV4 in sport mode in certain situations.
Okay. Any other little positives?
Yeah, small things like the electronic parking brake is reliable, and the brake hold feature is handy because it stays on even if you turn the car off. Good visibility, too, generally.
So, summing up the good, high quality feel, very comfortable and quiet, really spacious and practical, and decent enough to drive around town with good brakes.
That's a pretty fair summary of the praise, yeah. But now, let's get into the other side of the coin, the criticisms. And there are quite a few significant ones.
Starting, I assume, back with that price tag.
Exactly. Just keeps coming up.
Yeah.
You might be looking at, say, £10,000 more than a similar Kia Sportage Hybrid in the UK. Or quite a bit more than a base RAV4 Hybrid in the US. That's a lot of money.
And does the value stack up? You mentioned a long-term test.
Right. That specific test found that financially, The hybrid didn't pay off compared to the regular petrol CR-V they ran alongside it. It actually lost value faster.
Ouch.
And the fuel savings in their real-world driving just weren't enough to make up for that higher initial cost.
Which leads us neatly into the next big criticism, the actual fuel economy people are getting.
Yeah, despite the hybrid badge, some folks were seeing numbers way lower than the official figures. That long-term test averaged around 30 milliblascane, when the official combined rating is closer to 38 millibrands.
That's a big difference, and compared to rivals.
Consistently, sources found the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid does better on fuel. The official EPA numbers show it too. RAV4 and WD gets better highway MPG, for example.
Any technical reason for that? The mechanic?
Yeah, the mechanics suggested Honda's hybrid system design is just inherently less efficient than Toyota's system, especially the way it works with the transmission and engine integration.
Okay, so price is high, real-world fuel economy can disappoint and trails Toyota. What about performance, especially on the highway?
This is another sticking point. While it's fine in the city, reviewers really criticized how noisy the engine gets when you accelerate hard or climb hills.
Noisy how?
Like a ton of racket was one phrase used. And the frustrating part is that noise doesn't always translate into strong acceleration or easy passing power. It can feel kind of strained and unsatisfying.
So it sounds like it's working hard but isn't really delivering.
Pretty much. And there's even conflicting info on 0-60 times. In the sources, one said it was slower than the non-hybrid, another said it felt faster than the RV4. So perception varies, but the noise seems consistent.
Handling-wise, competent, but maybe not exciting.
Yeah, one review called it competent but dull if you're on a twisty road. It's not trying to be sporty, clearly.
Okay, let's talk features. Or maybe lack thereof, especially for the price.
Exactly. This is called disappointing. Things you might expect at this price point on competitors are just missing. No ventilated front seats available at all.
Oh, that's a popular one.
Right. No 360-degree camera system option. No panoramic sunroof option on any trim level.
And the features it does have, any issues there?
Some execution flaws, yeah. The standard reversing camera was described by one reviewer as absolutely abysmal, like really poor quality.
But not great.
Nope. Heated seats apparently take a while to warm up. And the surround view camera, if you get a trim that has it, only shows the left blind spot view, weirdly, and it vanishes if you're using navigation. Wow. It's like an odd limitation.
Any tech or interior annoyances?
The main infotainment screen is seen as a bit small compared to rivals now, and the graphics aren't exactly cutting edge.
Okay.
The mechanic didn't like where the physical back button was placed, and while wireless Apple CarPlay is there, wireless Android Auto isn't always standard, depending on the market or trim. Little things, but they add up.
What about design choices? Any weird quirks people notice?
Oh, definitely. The mechanic pointed out that the glossy black bits on the front bumper and the taillights stick out quite a bit, making them really easy to scratch.
Ah, yeah, I can see that.
And the exhaust tips you see, totally fake. There's just one actual muffler hidden underneath.
Huh. Okay. Anything else inside?
Some of the lower plastics are a bit scratchy, apparently. And one review mentioned the center console felt a bit wobbly on a top-spec model, which you wouldn't expect.
And underneath the car, the mechanic had thoughts there too, right?
Yeah, they weren't impressed. Pointed out areas that looked prone to rust. And the all-wheel drive system is an older design, using a traditional drive shaft and transfer case.
What's the issue with that?
Well, competitors like Toyota often use a separate electric motor for the rear wheels. The Honda design adds complexity, more parts, and crucially, it means the rear wheels can't do regenerative braking to capture energy. That might be another reason its fuel economy isn't class-leading.
Interesting technical point. Anything else odd?
Some U.S.-specific flaps hanging underneath it looked weird. Oh, and the push-to-open fuel door was seen as just making things more complicated than they need to be.
Controls.
Sure.
Any frustrations there?
The gear selector buttons? Some found them confusing. It's apparently easy to hit B for extra braking when you mean D for drive, or R for reverse is where you might instinctively reach for drive.
Yeah, buttons can be tricky instead of a lever.
Also, the anti-pinch safety feature on the windows didn't work well under steady pressure in one test. And the parking brake doesn't automatically engage when you put it in park, which is a small thing, but lots of cars do that now.
Okay, now, a potentially really big one for some buyers. Towing.
Huge limitation here. The standard hybrid can only tow 750 kilograms. It's about 1,650 pounds.
Which is not much.
It's described as pathetic in one review. Key rivals, like the RAV4 Hybrid, Sportage Hybrid, they can often tow 1,650 kilos or more, double, basically. Even the CR-V plug-in hybrid tows less than some competitors.
Wow, okay, so if you need to tow anything substantial, this probably isn't the one.
Pretty much rules it out.
Yeah.
And related to packaging, there's a big issue in the boot, or trunk.
What's that?
The hybrid battery is right under the floor, which means 1, 0 underfloor storage space,
Yeah.
and 2, no spare tire, just a puncture repair kit.
Nah, no spare tire. That's a deal breaker for some people.
Could be. And the mechanic actually found this out firsthand. Lifted what looked like a storage cover, and boom, there's the battery.
Yeah.
Said the cover itself felt loose and poorly designed, like an afterthought.
Doesn't sound ideal. Lastly, what about reliability? Honda's reputation is usually stellar.
Generally, yes. But sources did mention some recent recalls. Sticky steering, potential fuel pump failure, even a high-voltage battery issue on some 2023 models.
3 recalls on a newish model.
It can make buyers nervous, right? Even if Honda fixes things under warranty. The mechanic's take was interesting here. While they stressed the car is generally very well built, they felt the hybrid sister itself, that specific Honda design, might potentially be less proven or robust long-term compared to Toyota's system, which has been around longer and is arguably simpler mechanically.
Yeah.
Still well-made components, just maybe a question mark over the hybrid complexity down the line.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this all up. We've got a picture of an SUV that really nails the fundamentals, doesn't it? Build quality, comfort, quietness, space. Those are genuine highlights.
Absolutely. Those are the core strengths, and they come through loud and clear in the sources.
However, there's a significant list of howevers. The high price is a constant theme, and the value proposition gets questioned because of it.
Right. Especially when the real-world fuel economy might not blow you away and actually trails key competitors like the RAV4.
Then there's the highway performance, potentially noisy and not that strong, plus a list of missing features you might expect for the money.
And those specific design quirks, the control annoyances, the really poor towing capacity, and the lack of a spare tire due to the battery placement is quite a list of compromises.
So bringing it back to you, the listener, thinking about this car, you've heard the praise. It's well-built, comfy, quiet, roomy, solid foundations.
But you've also heard the drawbacks, the cost, the actual MPG reality, the engine noise, the missing kit, the practical limitations like towing and boot storage.
Given how many great alternatives there are in this hybrid SUV space, you really need to weigh these pros and cons based on what you actually need and value in a car.
Definitely. What matters most to you?
So here's something to think about. Are the CR-V hybrid's core strengths, that quality feel, the quiet ride, the sheer space enough to make you overlook its weaknesses, like that premium price, the lower towing capacity, maybe the fuel economy compared to rivals? Is that trade-off worth it for your specific situation? What really stands out to you after hearing all this?